All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're gonna get finished getting these rails hooked up to the HM122. The first step we need to do is remove these. These are the stops so the sawmill trolley doesn't fall off. So we'll take these out, and then we're gonna figure out some way to attach this to that, and then make sure everything is level across the top, so the trolley can move along nice and smoothly. So we'll get that done, and then we'll move on to the next step. There we go. Now we'll move our rail system in, and then we'll start elevating it up with a bunch of scrap wood I have. Just going to double check to make sure we're still level here. Yep. Yep. We're a little bit off that way. Probably the first thing to do would be to make sure we're starting with a level point here. So this corner's got to come up a little bit, about 3/8 of an inch. So I'm just adjusting the existing bolts on this system to bring that rail up on this side. There we go. So we're level there now. So at least we know that we're starting from a square and level point here to line up our new rails into the system. I can see now there's going to be some interference on this place here from my rail system. So I'm going to go get my saw, and we'll cut that little corner out there on both sides to accommodate this. Here's the saw I like to use a lot for little trimming. It's like a little hatchet for steel. Always wear your safety glasses. There we go. That will allow this to move in nice and tight to here now. You can see it's a lot of messing around, but it's very important to get this absolutely as best you can, because every piece of lumber you cut after that is going to be a reflection of the job you do here now. The one thing I did notice when I put the string on is, of course, I'm going to show you exaggerated, is that this rail of the existing, it comes off here and then it dives down right here. So I'm going to see if I can resolve that first. So you can feel it in the rock. The rocking level on top tells me that this rail is bent. Now, for the work that I'm going to do, the timber framing work, I've been working a lot on learning how to lay out the logs. And the reason you need to lay them out is because they suggest that not every log that you get, especially a cut timber, is going to be perfectly square. And obviously, coming off of my sawmill, that's very true. It's not going to be perfectly square. So you need to find that inner perfect log inside every timber. And this just goes to show you that with this rail bent like this, I don't know how long it's been like that. Maybe it's been like that forever. And this is the first time I put a string on it. But it just goes to show you that as hard as I tried to make it perfectly square, it's not going to happen. I think that's actually improving a little bit. But I know doing this, it's going to put my other side out of whack as well. Let's have a look back with the string again. So just doing that slight adjustment certainly did help. So I'll snug these things up and see where we're at. So these are the stops that go at the end of the rails, the existing rails, to stop the trolley. So I'm going to use this as a template to make the straps that are going to go on the existing to the new. So it's similar to this, and they'll have a hole over here that we can attach the new rails to. As you can see here, we're tight on this side, but you go to the other side, you've got a bit of a gap there. And I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make, but I'm going to run the trolley over it and check it out, and we'll see how much of a difference that's going to make, if it's going to really cause a bump. If it is, we'll have to do something about it. What am I hitting? That's why they had this on the inside, because this part of the framework, this black steel part, is hitting my bolt. And that's no good. So we will have to address that. There's always something to learn. Well, I brought the whole setup back to the shop, and what I'm doing is I'm welding 6 of these little guys on in the corners, and then I can put some threaded rod in there so we can use that to level it all. It had to be done anyway. I was using the boards just so I want to make sure everything fit, and found a few issues, but we'll use these and we'll be good to go. As you can see, I just fabricated up the feet for this. They're adjustable feet, just like the ones on the existing equipment. Now, I would have preferred to use a 5/8 rod, but I don't have 5/8 rod, so we're going to go with 1/2 inch. These holes are big enough that if I have to move up at some point in the future, I can do that. We'll get the rest of these on and then we'll go get our pack in place. See, with the existing bolts that came with it, they have these washers on them. And my other ones don't. I'm not quite sure why it's hitting. I could figure it out, but I got extra bolts, so we'll just use the bolts that I have that I know work. Well, that should be her. I think it's all level and square and everything runs smoothly. The trolley hits a little bit of a bump there. I'm not too worried about it though. So it's gotten a bit late in the day, and I guess tomorrow we'll try throwing a log on and slice her up. there we go. There's our first cut. And I'm just looking to see where the transition is, if you can really notice it on the log. Have a look here. The wheel hits here. That would be the transition point about there. So I can feel it in the trolley, but you don't see a whole lot here. That's certainly acceptable to my high standards. So I think we're good. At some point I got to get a coat of paint on there. I haven't done that yet, but soon. It's supposed to be raining. It was supposed to rain yesterday, and it's supposed to rain today, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow. You can see it's not looking very cheery out, but we need the rain too. So there we go. You can see I had a little bit of a problem getting the log together. It's always a challenge handling the logs with the set of forks on the tractor. And in an upcoming video, I'm going to modify a piece of equipment I have down there to attach to the front of the tractor, so we can move the logs easier without because once I get into these big logs here, I'm really gonna have to be on my game handling these. I don't want one of these rolling off the back of the sawmill, that's for sure. That would be a huge pain in the butt to get back. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and share on your social media if you can. It would help out, and leave a comment, please. That would help too. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.